So now my stomach's really upset, but I am unable to go in any restroom that's like not a nice sitting toilet. So I'm kind of out of luck. Hi! The following is a video about my motorbike journey from Nha Trang through the province of Dak Lak to the city of Buôn Ma Thuột. I'd been riding around in Saigon for about 2 months at a time, and I knew enough about myself to know that I didn't actually want to spend that much time riding. So a trip from North to South Vietnam was pretty much out of the question. I don't own a bike because I don't want to deal with the hassles of buying and reselling the motorbike, so I opted to rent instead. In Nha Trang, I found a place on Facebook called Easy Rider True Friends, and through them I rented a bike for about 250,000 VND per day, or about $11 per day. Most rental places don't want you to ride out of the city, but this one seemed to turn a blind eye. And after using their rental bikes for a few days to get around Nha Trang, I was ready to start my journey to Buôn Ma Thuột. So it's about 4:30 a.m. and I'm starting my first motorbike trip. And you can see here's the beach and the sun is just starting to rise, although it's not supposed to rise for another hour. And I'm gonna make my way through the province of Dak Lak, not to be confused with Dak Lak, although those are two very close places. Dak Lak is a city and Dak Lak is a province, to the capital Dak Lak, Buôn Ma Thuột, where I am to attend a wedding. And this whole journey is supposed to take about 4 hours, but I really want to be leisurely about it and be able to make little side trips because I've never been to Dak Lak, and nature-wise it's supposed to be very beautiful. I'm trying to allow myself 6 or 7 hours to make it through with some detours and to account for the fact that I've never gone long distance, not even in a car. In a car I've never even driven past 3 hours. So this is all gonna be very new for me, and I'm probably gonna have to take a lot of breaks. But I've got my helmet on, a little backpack for the next 2 weeks, as well as my bike. So let's go. All right, so it's been a little bit of a scary trip so far. I went down the wrong way of a one-way highway, but it's all worth it for views like this long drive. It's about 6 a.m. now. You can't barely tell because it's so freaking bright for 6 a.m. and it's already getting hot. I made good progress. I tried not to eat at any of the rest stops until this point because I was worried about timing. Now that I've gone a bit far away from the city, I have allowed myself to make a rest stop. So I saw a temple that was coming up along my route. So I thought this would be a nice place for me to sit down, relax, and enjoy some of these amazing puff pastries. So far, so good. Kale face is still okay one day later. Wow, just look at this. It is gorgeous and it made this ride worth it. I've decided to take a little detour. I want to explore the mountain area of Dak Lak a little more. On the map, there was nothing labeled and there were no existing pictures, but I found a road in a green mountainous looking area and I figured, why not? Let's just see what's there. Made it to the lake. There were a few smaller roads that I had to go through, and a lot of the roads had potholes, but it wasn't like normal potholes, which are usually like irregular shaped. These were very cut square or rectangular potholes. So if anyone out there knows what could cause some regular shaped potholes all over a road, then that'd be great to know. But anyways, yeah, so here's the lake. Seems like there's not too much activity going on. Also, I wanted to say that I don't think it was a good idea that I didn't refrigerate my puffs last night, as I think it contained pork. It definitely contained mushrooms and a quail egg. And so now my stomach's really upset, but I am unable to go in any restroom that's like not a nice sitting toilet. So I'm kind of out of luck for these next few hours. It's 1:30 and I finally arrived at the hotel where I'm supposed to meet my friends. The drive ended up taking 9 hours total, with just like one brief stop for me to eat at the temple when I ate those pastry puffs, and then the rest of the time I was too scared to eat anything else because then I would have to go to the restroom. I really didn't think it would last 9 hours. It's crazy. I ended up missing the wedding, but it's okay. So my trip obviously didn't turn out how I expected, but would I do it again? Absolutely. I just fell in love with Vietnam all over again in this trip, and that feeling just makes the whole experience worth it. So what did I learn from this entire motorbike trip? One thing I learned was that you should head out about 1.5 hours before sunrise, which in Vietnam that often means you should head out around 4 a.m. because the sun tends to rise around 5:30 a.m. I remember during my trip, by 6 a.m. it would be extremely sunny and it gets very, very hot by the time you reach 9 a.m. Which brings me to my second point, to wear adequate sun protection. I wore so much sunblock and I wore a jacket that was made especially for riding. It was a collaboration with Uber, and it was a jacket that was designed for their drivers who would be driving all day long. But even with that jacket, people noticed that I still was getting a farmer's tan, which means I was still getting a tan through the jacket. Something else I did to bring me to point 3 was that I had Bluetooth headphones, which are great for giving you directions and navigating you through the whole process. And my phone runs on Viettel, the SIM, and that company is great coverage all over Vietnam, whereas I've heard some of the other Vietnamese SIM companies are not as good. So Bluetooth headphones paired with Viettel allowed me to get navigation wirelessly the whole time. And I also made sure to get a motorbike helmet with a visor. So this is 1, important for sun protection in your face, but 2, important because sometimes you're going fast, there's a lot of wind, it's gonna dry out your eyes, but there are also bugs as well. So having this gives you that kind of protection. I also doubled up by wearing sunglasses. Another thing that I found out while driving is that a lot of these small towns in Vietnam don't exactly have the cleanest bathrooms. I think when it comes to small towns in Vietnam, most of them are going to have the squatting kind of toilets. I would route my trip based on how long I can hold it in until the next big city, which would provide accommodations or the kind of, I guess, toilet accommodations that I can handle. Another thing is a lot of these places don't exactly have cute lodging. So in my mind, before I set out on the trip, I had this romantic idea that along the way I might stop by some small towns at night and find some cute homestays. But even in Buôn Ma Thuột, it was hard to find a place that didn't have bugs in it. It was hard to find a hotel that didn't have ants and cockroaches. And even the Airbnb I found in Buôn Ma Thuột had ants and cockroaches. And this is in the capital city of Dak Lak. So I can't imagine what the places would be like in some of the smaller towns. Finally, another lesson I learned is that trucks will always win. There, especially in the morning, are a lot of large trucks driving through. Something about these trucks is the drivers are very sleep deprived. They could be running on energy drinks or drugs. Don't know, but they use their horn a lot. So don't take it personally, just stay out of their way. I understand a solo motorbike trip isn't for everyone, but there are ways you can adjust your motorbike trip to fit you instead of having to follow the stereotypical Hanoi to Saigon route. Through adjusting my motorbike trip to be a much shorter one and include a lot of coastal time, I was able to enjoy it in a way that I probably wouldn't have if I were biking day in, day out for a month.